Hey, it's Cosmo Solutions 8, and in this video, I want to teach you how to run Google Ads campaigns for professional services. And this is actually a big shout out to my boy Marinos Palamaris, whose name I just butchered, and I'm so sorry. But this comes as a request from him. He says, can you make a video about lead generation for professionals like lawyers, dentists, etc.? So I guess dentist doesn't fall into professional services. It's just more like service-based organizations. Now, I've got a ton of videos out there on how to build campaigns, so I'm not going to teach you that. But I think what I want to talk about today is specificity. And I'm going to use the lawyers as an example. So, if for all intents and purposes, let's focus on the lawyers for just a minute, and then I can expand beyond that. One of the issues that I think people run into is, let's say that you're an attorney and you have a bunch of practice areas. You start bidding on all of the keywords that are relevant to every single practice area that you have and that you offer, and then you drive all of that traffic to your homepage of your website. And this, by the way, is the way that, 80% of attorneys that I've ever seen run paid ads function. The reason this is a catastrophic error is because people who have these problems, these are significant problems always. If you're looking for an attorney, if you're looking honestly for any specific service provider, the benefit you have there, if you're the provider bidding on these key phrases, is they're at the middle to the bottom of the sales funnel. They're ready to buy. They've already self-diagnosed. They already know what their problem is. And here they are bidding on a phrase relevant to that problem. The worst thing you can do is just drop them into your webpage and say, hey, look around. Maybe you'll find it, maybe you won't. Who knows? And I've seen attorneys bid on practice areas that they don't have content for on their website. So the first and I think the most important thing to do is to maintain continuity with that browsing experience. So let's say that I need family law. I'm a dad, and I'm fighting for custody for my children. Like begin to empathize with your prospect and realize the position that they're in. And so I go to Google and I'm searching for family law, and then your ad says, oh hey, we do family law, would love to help you, and I click on it, and then it's just some generic attorney's website. Now I don't know where to go, I don't know what to do, I don't know what the narrative is, I don't know who you are, I don't know how to engage. What you want to do is you want to guide them. You want to make the buying process easy, make it really easy for them to say yes. So flip the script a little bit. Now imagine being that same dad, and you see the ad, and it's like, family law, we can help you. Tried and true, 20 years of experience. And then I click through on the ad, and I land on a page dedicated to family law. And instead of talking about you, Mr. and Mrs. Attorney, it talks about me. Hey, Dad, we've been there. Or, hey, parent, we've been there. We know the struggle. And these are the things that we can do right now, this very moment, to begin solving your problem. So one of the things that I think, especially for professional services, people get wrong is they sell the service, and instead they need to sell the end result. I don't want an attorney, ever. I don't even like attorneys. I actually really like my attorney. But for the most part, like conceptually, attorneys scare me. Everything that they do is expensive, and they don't give you straight answers, and they speak in really big, broad generalities, and they're just kind of scary to be around. Now, do I want a person who can advocate for me and help me get to a desired end result in my business, for my family, or whatever? Yeah, I definitely want that. So if that person happens to be an attorney, awesome. But think about the desired end result and sell that. And show them what life is going to be like after. So for you to say like, we have this litigation experience, and we have we walk through these many processes, like, that's okay. That stuff is great. Sometimes it makes good ad copy fodder, and you're building a unique selling proposition, but that can't be where it ends. You can't talk about you. You have to talk about the prospect. You have to talk about the person to whom you will be providing this value. Get them to their desired end result. So just to recap just a little bit, make sure that you have a one-to-one connection. If you're bidding on something specific, make sure you're sending them to a specific page. And by the way, that's the way to do it, especially for you. Attorneys, it's such a tough space. I've had enough legal campaigns die on the vine to tell you that you've got to spend a bunch of money, and even then, there are so many people that come right out of law school, and all they do is just hemorrhage money inside of Google. There's a lot of dumb money in the space, so you have to be careful. But make sure that you're bidding on specific phrases that relate to specific practice areas that have specific content on your site, and that content is value-driven, it's solution-driven. I think that's really important. The other thing that you can do is, if you want to bid broad, feel free to, but expect now to have diluted efficacy in the short term. So if, I'm in Arizona, so if I just bid on Attorney Arizona, all right, you're going to get everybody under the sun. And so now what you need to look at is, it's not a direct response play anymore. This is now branding, basically. You're building a brand, which I think that's okay to do. The other thing that I wanted to mention just on this note is every attorney I've ever worked with wants to go to the bottom of the funnel. I need, I help people with DUIs, and I need 20 a month in order to keep my people busy or whatever. And there's nothing wrong with that. The issue is there's only so many DUIs, hopefully, and hopefully that number begins to drop. So if you want to, trying to capture all of the traffic at the catalytic point is expensive. That's why Google Ads is expensive. The other thing that you might want to consider is brand building. It's producing videos, content, media, value-driven offerings, and then putting that in front of your audience. And you can carve out a geo segment. You can say, hey, I'm going to do 20-mile radius around my office or whatever, and just give people tips and tricks like, hey, just FYI, if you're pulled over, here are the 4 things that you absolutely have to do. And if you want to print this out and put it in your glove box, I've got a download for you. That's pretty cool, right? Like, I would do that. I actually carry around a card that an attorney gave me at a networking event that had the do's and don'ts for when you're pulled over. I was like, this is really valuable for me. So begin to ascend in the funnel. This is, I think, going to become more and more relevant as Google's assassination of third-party cookies basically destroys our ability to target and to remarket. So that, that brand building, that top of the funnel, that sort of awareness building approach that you're taking, I think that could be really important too. You might want to look at in-market audiences and affinity audiences, although I don't know that I've seen much in the way of in-market for attorneys specifically, and then I haven't really played with it for professional services. So I'm not quite sure what Google's offering there. But I really like the idea of going top of the funnel, providing as much value as you can, building awareness around your brand so that when somebody is ready to search, even if they don't go directly to you, when they do rediscover you, it's like, oh yeah, that's that guy or gal that gave me that thing. That was actually really helpful. I think I might engage with this person. So I hope that helps. Marinos, I hope that helps. I hope this is a good video. Thumbs up if you liked it. Comments if you have more questions. And if you have topics that you want to talk about or anything you want my advice on, please. It's really helpful for me to know what video I'm shooting next. So I'm shooting a video every single day. I'm actually starting to shoot some shorts too that I hope are really helpful. I'm calling them the Marketing Minute because they're less than a minute long because that's what Google wants in order to house me in the shorts. And really grateful to everybody that's watching and subscribing and commenting. I'm having tons of fun, and I'll see you tomorrow.